This morning I've come out after a fallow deer. Now I've come to a little bit of ground. It's only about 30 odd acres, and it's just like a little small holding, but it's a real scenic, lovely bit of ground. And the weather's set to be nice today. We've got clear skies, full moon at the moment. I've just come down the track to the farm, and the owner's house is just on the left, and there was already 5 or 6 deer out in his garden and sort of out on the field next to it. So that's a good sign that there's a few about. I've brought with me the 243, and I've got the PAR 007 SV as well that I'm going to plonk on the back there, purely so I can get some footage through the scope. So anyway, let's head out and see if we can have a little stalk around the fields and get set up before it actually gets light. So I didn't have much luck there this morning. Saw one deer out in the wood, but I couldn't get a clear shot of that. So I've decided what I'll do is just sort of like stay in this high seat here for a bit. Might get lucky. It's not ideal because this is the furthest high seat from the truck, so it will mean a drag through some slippery wet fields, which isn't ideal. But the plus side to this field is that it's also furthest from any footpaths and that, so we're less likely to get any sort of disturbance from people walking dogs and that. Plenty of squirrels on the edge of this wood. Every now and again I keep sort of seeing a little heat signature in amongst the trees, and it keeps catching my eye. It's just another squirrel. Right, well, it's about 8:15 now, so we're going to get dog walkers and that coming through the wood before long. I think I'm going to call it a morning, and well, we might get lucky walking back to the truck, you never know. But either way, I am freezing. It's these November mornings, they're certainly turn cold. Right. Well, we didn't have much luck with the deer this morning, but it's such a lovely day. I've stopped into another farm on the way home. I've got the 2.2 rimfire with me, so it'd be rude not to take it out and have a little wander around, see if we can find a crow or something. There's not an awful lot about this afternoon, to be honest, but I've got a steel target out here which has been there for probably about 10 years now. And I don't know if they ever rust away, the steel targets, these hard ox ones, but I've got one sat out there anyway. It's gone a bit on the rusty side, but that's out 170 metres, so just for fun I'll have a few shots of that. Now we've got a little bit of a crosswind coming across here. It's not too much because, to be fair, it's kind of coming sort of diagonally, so it's not a full value crosswind, but it's going to be enough just to push the 2.2 over, especially at that sort of distance. I'm using the Ely match ammunition, today, which is a high velocity. Well, it's just over the threshold of being subsonic, so it's just into the supersonic range. So it does go with a little bit more of a pop than the subsonic stuff, but nonetheless. Anyway, let's have a go. See if we can get a shot on there. Okay, I'm using the Element Ballistics app, so I'm going to put in there 170 metres. That is telling me 18.75 for elevation, which is there. And I'm just going to hold off a little bit for the wind. Right, we'll have a pop and see how we get on. But right, zoom that in. There we are. So I'm reckoning I'm probably going to give that about three MOA there on the windage. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Right, so there we go. So we can do that again. Oh, just next to it. Give it a little bit more windage. There we go. 4 MOA. One more. Lovely. Well, that was a bit of fun for 10 minutes anyway, and it's always good practice using the 2.2. I do love shooting the 2.2. It's cheap and it's good practice as well for when you're using the centerfire. All the principles are much the same. You've still got to range the target, dial it in, adjust for the wind, read the wind, everything else. So I think, well, that target was 170 metres. It's about a 4-inch steel target. The wind at the moment is it's actually coming across the field a little bit more than I first thought it was. It's probably about 5-6 mile an hour wind, and it's surprising just how much that will push that bullet over. It pushed it over about 4 MOA there, 3 to 4 MOA, which equates to probably getting on for best part of 8 inches down there. So it's quite surprising just how much it will push that little bullet off course. Right, let's have a little wander around Hedgerows to see if we can bump into anything. So just quickly before we walk past the target, another good thing to practice is offhand shooting with a 2.2. Again, it's cheap to practice with, and if you've got a rifle like this, it's quite a heavy rifle, so yeah, it sort of mimics a centerfire quite well. So a couple of little pointers with this shooting offhand. First thing I like to do is, if you've got a sling, I like to wrap it around my arm like so, and I'll just quickly set the scope up, or the scope cam I should say. Right, zoom it in a little bit. So what you don't want to do is have the scope magnified too much for this, and what you want to try and do when shooting offhand is to start off above the target and bring the vertical crosshair sort of down through the target, and then when you're on the target, squeeze the trigger. That way you're keeping it moving. If you try and hold still, you end up going around in circles and all over the place as your arms get tired. So you're better off just sort of keeping your arm relaxed, and then when you're ready to shoot, come up, drop down to the target and pull the trigger. Right, see if I can put that into practice. There you go, good fun and good practice. Get yourself a 2.2. Right, this is one of my favourite places to snipe rabbits, plus the occasional fox actually. I'm up on top of an old water tower, It's right up in the far corner of the farm, and not an area that I come to very often, but it is a great spot, especially on a lovely sunny afternoon like this. Right, so I've just got a rabbit come out. He's at 168 metres. So just put that into the app. That's telling me 19.5 MOA. Oh no, I'm not going to worry too much about wind, because the shot's going to be sheltered by the hedgerow that we're shooting alongside, and also, if anything, the wind's coming from just behind me. Right. Lovely, that was a great start, first one down. Oh, we've got a squirrel out at 184 metres. Bit of a stretch, but he is just sat there nibbling away on something, so if I've got time, I'm going to have a go. So 22. That was very satisfying. That went with a real thwack as well. That was a good solid body shot, that one, straight in the chest. Excellent. Well, the light's starting to fade now and it's already got quite cold. I'm going to go and grab these couple of victims, and then I think I'll head out and have a look for a fox. Well, that's how we like them. Nice easy fox. That fox was out about 75-80 metres. Spotted him at the top of the field first, but he was up against the hedge and I couldn't really see what sort of backstop I had up there. So as it happened, he come trotting straight down the field towards me, so I just let him come in. He got to within about 75-80 metres, somewhere about there, and I just wait for him to turn broadside a little bit. I had to just move a little bit because I've got a fence and some bushes in front, and the eye was bouncing back off of some of the leaves there, but I managed to step to one side and he didn't notice me, and yeah, straightforward shot straight over. Let's go and pick him up.
little vixen, that one. Good. Straight through her chest. A nice fox actually. Job done.
Well, the weather's just started to come in now. It's typical November weather, but that's another one down anyway to the Mauser M12, the Element Optics and the Pard combo. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe.